Hi, my name is Gina. In these series, while I will explore different features of the C++ language, I intend to share in short movies, solutions which I found to various problems and puzzles. Before you start to watch this video, you have to consider that I am using Mac operating system, and my integrated development environment is Visual Studio Code. So, if you are okay with what I said so far, let's get started. In this particular small tutorial, I created a project where I used OpenGL framework. And among other difficulties encountered, this one appeared when I had to write and read older or newer versions of shaders. Let's see what I mean by that. When someone writes shaders, in the very first line, has to write version keyword, followed by a number. If you don't start the shader in this manner, and I mean every shader, no matter that you write a vertex shader, or a fragment shader, or a geometry one, or whatever other one, the compiler will stop, asking you to mention the version's number. So, you must start any shader specifying the version's number. And to whom refers this number? To the GL shader language, or in short GLSL version, which will be supported by GPU, when your script will be compiled and executed. By the way, GPU means your video card graphic processor unit. Look what's happened if I run the project as it is. The test rectangle is displayed uncompleted, and in the local terminal I receive this error. If you are curious what I did to receive this error, the answer is here, in shader processing class, which I called it shader.cpp. As you can see in my shader reader class, I wrote some extra code to print out on console the error number and its content, just in case something goes wrong at compile time. Further on, I needed to find out the OpenGL version accepted by GPU. And this line of code show me exactly what I asked for. The print instruction basically is this macro defined here, in this header. And exactly this macro I used to get both the OpenGL version and the error number followed by its associated message. And, after I wrote a simple vertex shader, this is the OpenGL version detected and the error which was printed out. Notice that the OpenGL version, which compiler think is installed on my system, is 2.1. Moreover, I am informed that the vertex shader failed to compile. Immediately the compiler print out two errors. First error is in line number 1, and tells me that GLSL 330 version is not supported. The second error is in line number 3, and claims that I failed to write a correct syntax, complaining that layout keyword is not recognized. According with this error message, here, on this very first line of my shader script, I've encountered the puzzle. I was looking on web to solve this problem for about 4 hours, and in the end I found how can be done. Before you draw anything in OpenGL you should first create a window. So, I created a class called window.cpp and in this class 1 implemented the window according with the routine explained in documentation. The created window can be customized by setting various flags. The flags are set using glfwWindowHint OpenGL method. The solution is here, in these 4 lines of code. Now, let's uncomment these 4 lines of code and run the project. In this case, the compiler found that the OpenGL version installed on our system is 4.1. Consequently, the final result is, as I intended it to be, because there are no GLSL errors. The trick is to define these 4 hints before set your OpenGL window. You must write all these 4 lines of code if you want to make your GPU to accept newer versions of shader languages, but I have to mention here that this particular order is not required. You may choose to write them in what order you like. For those who are interested in my solution, I wrote in the description all these 4 lines of code. You just copy and paste if you need them. And believe it or not, this is all what you have to do in order to compile the newer shaders language versions. In the following days, I'll do a secondary video related to this subject, where I'll show how you can successfully run the project using an older version of GLSL. Once I did it, I'll put the link in the description. This was my way to solve this puzzle. But if someone has another way to solve it, he should feel free to write his solution in the comment section of this movie. And that will be all for this small tutorial. Thanks for watching.